All right, welcome to round six of the MRL No Assist Championship. As you can see already, Pat won't be present today, but I'm very happy to have Dutch Raven here joining me for what should be an exciting race here at Barcelona Pain with an S. So I think it's going to be very interesting. Raven, have you seen a lot of the No Assist races?
I've seen one so far, and it was the one I commentated on in Belgium, or in Hungary, I mean, which was an absolute crazy race, absolute lovely to watch.
Yeah, it seems that in No Assist, it's why I'm so happy to be here. Every single race is consistently really interesting. Something wild or out of pocket happens. And we can take a look by taking a look at the overview of this race. So we can expect overtakes in turns 1, 4, and 10. And I think we could see some daring moves in the final two corners if someone struggles around that long right hand hairpin. So we could see a potential opportunity there. Giantsfan has been killing it this season. He has been on an absolute tear. Fantastic performances over and over again. He's really starting to pull away from some of the competition. And at this rate, I mean, this is going to look like a very dominant season for him unless some of the others can fight back here. But he's said himself that he's a Spain merchant, so we'll have to see about that. Crashes are likely to happen around turns 7 and 8, which, I mean, the curves can definitely take you a little bit by surprise. So drivers will have to be careful around there. Drivers to watch will be Giantsfan Nathan and Hokage. Hokage was absolutely rapid in Belgium. Wasn't able to make it for Vegas, unfortunately. We'll have to see if that absolute incredible performance in Belgium was just a one-off, or if he really does have the pace now. And taking a quick look at the track map, I'm so unbelievably happy that they finally got rid of that chicane in the final couple of corners. I despise that chicane with burning passion. And now this entire track finally has what I feel like a great rhythm to it. And of course, you can see here it's beautiful weather in the loading screen here. But out on track, it is just as appealing. No abnormal weather conditions or anything of the like. Kamo has been disqualified?
Oh,
Then
I'm
what
not
happened to
actually in the
MRK?
lobby yet. I'm
Oh, you
still,
are?
no, I'm still wait. Well, I'm in the lobby, but I'm still waiting in that starting screen.
Oh, you may have to reset. Yeah, it just said you left, so it's definitely bugged there. A little bit of a strange bug. For anyone who's watching in NA, could someone get him an invite back? Just let me know if you get an invite, and if you don't, also.
Yeah, I don't have one yet.
Okay, we'll wait about a minute, and if not, I'll get one. Here we have. Okay. I just had a notification. I thought my internet disconnected for a second. That's the ping sound I get every time my internet disconnects. So for a brief moment, I just had a moment of absolute panic. Benzo put in a brilliant lap right now. Is currently fastest overall to Yellow Snowman, who didn't put in the best of laps, but looks like he's going for another flyer. Giantsfan, meanwhile, is making his way through. Action goes across the line. A 1 minute 12.1. Brilliant lap from the Williams driver. He won just last week in Vegas, and I think this is a very good sign for him. Do you have that invite back?
Not yet. I just asked MRK.
Okay, good. Yep, Giantsfan. Indeed, he is a little bit of a speed merchant as he crosses the line, and he is fastest overall. Although, admittedly, it's way closer than I was suspecting. Ketchin isn't too far off, and then we have the usual suspects up near the top. Chili, Andy, and Nathan goes fastest overall now. A 111.745 for the Ferrari driver. Absolutely brilliant lap from him. Yellow Snowman fights back a mere 1,000 faster than Nathan. This is panning out to be a very exciting qualifying thus far.
Yeah, I still don't have an invite, so maybe if you could shoot me one.
Yeah. So we're just gonna pan over real quick while I.
Do you have me added already?
I don't think I do.
Well, it's basically the same name, the Dutch Raven.
Right.
Oh, I just got an invite from.
Oh, okay. Perfect. And back over. So you see more and more people getting added. We have Magical 4 ahead running around, also looking to add his time to the scoreboard here. Well, not really a scoreboard. Well, whoa. Okay. Could someone in chat confirm that for a brief second when that car went to the pits, that there was a car that briefly teleported out on track for like a millisecond? Feeling Magical Forehead, though, brilliant lap in the Aston Martin, puts himself into the top 6.
Well, I'm now finally in. I can finally get in on the XN as well.
Looks like chat is bugged. Pull that back. There we go. There's chat. Who's not bad? This is Dutch Raven joining me, for those wondering, in the chat. He was actually just with Punju a little bit ago in Tier 1, and, well, he's getting a lot of work today. Thanks again for joining me.
No worries, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, we have Chili going for another run here in a moment. He's been quite fast, and, well, he did miss out on the title last season. But I definitely think he's going to try and fight it back this time around. While we have Midnight going through, he's actually up on his previous lap, it looks like. Either that or he's about to return to the pits. Either way, he has barely any ERS, but he's working with it pretty well at the moment. He is 4/10 up and could get a pretty strong time here. Although, well, actually, if he improves, he's going to put himself into the top 10. But we'll see how much of a difference it really makes once he goes across the line with barely any ERS left. He puts himself just into the top 10.
Yeah, that's gonna do him. Oh, he just gets pushed out of it there by Sketchy Bull or by Norm Bash, who does a 113.1.
Yeah, Aston Martin has a pretty solid amount of pace here. Well, we finally have Hokage making his way out on track. I mean, again, I was baffled by that pace he had in Belgium. So I hope that it isn't a one-off and he really is that rapid, because if so, he could genuinely be up there in the fight for the title. As Gary almost loses the car, gets saved by him, but that was his flying lap. Instead, flying lap is now ruined as he nearly loses the car again. He's really struggling with grip out on this track. It looks like he's going to go for it again, but you can see the car just slightly slipping underneath him. Yeah, that's definitely not a time to be happy with, but I think if he manages to get that car under control, he could put in a very competitive time. We have Okage making his way through. We'll see how he stacks up in just a moment, as we have Ketchum getting ready to go for another flying lap. Right now, the difference between the top two is 1,000th of a second. So I think it's going to remain that close for the rest of qualifying. And Giantsfan, the Bane Merchant, as he says it, is only a little over a 10th off, so it's going to be very close between all three of them, really.
Yeah, it's gonna be so tight at the top, and it's gonna be very interesting for the race as well. Who's gonna be able to look after their tires very well, because Spain is a very high tire wear deck track. So keeping your tires alive is definitely gonna be the key to doing well today.
Oh, from Any Rage Quit, he says that you're a legend. You met him at TwitchCon in Amsterdam 20. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, those.
actually. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. TwitchCon Amsterdam. Andy, I gave him a little souvenir to take with him as well, a little shirt from our local football club.
Nice.
But we met up in Amsterdam, and first day we went to TwitchCon. Second day we got absolutely pissed drunk at a bar.
I was about
It
to say, the moment you
it
said
was
absolutely, I knew exactly where you were going with that.
yeah, it was amazing. It was probably one of the best weekends I've ever had. Actually, so much fun.
Yeah, we have JJo now getting ready to go on a flyer. At least I think he is, or he's about to. Well, he has no ERS left, so I don't know how he's gonna do this. JJo, well, I've known him for a while. He has a habit of throwing qualifying and then doing really well in the race. And while I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I think if he just gets that qualifying down, he'll be a real force up towards the front. And while he's already improving in that form, he's 3 tenths up in the first sector, but he has almost no ERS to work with on this second run. And I think he has, what, 10% at the moment? So he's kind of really kind of ration it out there this lap. It's unfortunate because that is going to cost him a tenth or two by the time he crosses the line at minimum. Drunken Shamrock taking his time here. He got a podium last week in Vegas, so we'll see if he can continue that form as we get ready to run on board with him for this lap. But before we do, we'll check in with JJo. He does not improve. He's seemingly invalidated, but we're gonna ride on board with the AlphaTauri driver as he makes his way through. And if I'm correct, oh, this is the car that he's in. Nathan improves, gets himself the fastest time overall. Is no longer 1,000th off of Young Snowman, but isn't even a full tenth off, only about halfway.
Yeah, it's still very close there at the top, and that tells me that there's not that much more in there in that time. So Yellow Snowman is gonna have to dig really deep, as there's a car
Yeah,
stranded.
that's the Alpine. Well, there's only one Alpine out here. That's Moo Irons. So, well, at least I think that's Irons. Did he change his name?
He could have done, but this lap from Drunken Shamrocks, it's not looking too bad. It's looking pretty clean, pretty solid.
Okay, the McLaren doing well to get out of his way. I was a little bit worried there for a moment, but Jordan Chimrong is looking pretty competitive at the moment. We'll see if that continues. It's a little awkward though that he has a Max Verstappen helmet and the AlphaTauri, but it's a nice looking one with the Miami version. Oh, he goes wide, and that isn't an invalidation. I'm surprised, but that
He's
lap is.
very,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, he's very lucky to not invalidate there, as you say. And actually also very lucky to still get into the top 10, but he surely lost like 2 or 3 tenths there in the last corner alone, which is going to put him up to somewhere to P5 or P4 even.
Yeah, once these yellow flags clear, we should be able to see how much time is remaining. Okay, a little over 4 minutes, so he does have enough time to run back into the pits, get a fresh set of tires, and go for one last run. But we are starting to approach that final couple minutes where a lot of drivers are going to scramble out to do one last run. Oh, that's the only Dragon having the same problem as Drunken Shamrock, and he doesn't improve because of it. Meanwhile, we have Irons going on another run, making his way around. Oh, he lost a lot of time in turn 3. I mean, ideally in turn 3, you want to be able to go a little bit wide on turn 2 and then go far out to the left so then you can just turn in as sharp as you can while flooring it and just maintaining that momentum through turn 3. But he had to let off the gas there in order to make the corner entirely, so that's definitely a lot of time lost. As he almost went off there for a moment, really getting on the curves here. Definitely costing
Yeah.
him a lot of valuable time.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit of a lag spike with him sending it into the gravel.
Yeah,
As he
it
comes
was.
now,
Oh, he has
as
no
he comes
front
now down
wing.
into so,
I didn't even
oh,
know. Yeah, he has no front wing. I just now noticed
uh,
that. Did he break his front wing?
well, is it just me or does he have a very tiny front wing on his
Well,
nose?
he has winglets. There we go.
Yeah,
That's a
he d-
full-on IndyCar setup right there.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna work great down the straights, but in the corners not so much.
Yeah, I mean, if this were an oval circuit, he'd be killing it right now. But honestly, is it bad that I would kind of want to see just one circuit that's an oval circuit in Formula One, just one, and that's it? You could do Indianapolis, make it a double header, do the oval, and then the actual course itself.
On one hand, yes. On the other hand, I think it's going to be very dangerous because every car is going to be actually running low downforce, and with the banking and
Chili's
those high speeds,
disqualified.
blocking the pit lane.
Oh, that is really bad news for Chili. He's gonna be on the back row for that. Now, if I had to guess, it's because he was going slowly to try and let some drivers on flying laps go by, but he was just a little too slow, and the game wasn't having it. If so, I fully understand. I've had that happen before.
Yeah, that was on pit exit as well, so it's probably somebody just starting that lap, as Hokage now has retired as well.
Yeah, but he put in a great time. He's sixth overall. That's genuinely a good lap from him. So it looks like he really is competitive after Spa to see.
Yeah, I'm currently on board with the J-Joe, just coming out of Sector 1. It's looking pretty good right now. Here in Sector 2, going on to the back straight.
Yeah, he is looking solid. I was actually just on board with Drunken Shamrock for a moment, watch him invalidate the final corner. He would have been able to improve his position by a couple of spots if he hadn't done that. But Jejo is looking a little more solid here. A little bit unsteady there on corner exit, making his way through the final couple corners. Let's see if he's able to keep that corner nice and tight. He does. Crossing the line. Can Jejo improve? He does. Just outside of the top 10.
Yeah, I think there is still a little bit more time in there though, because he didn't really look confident going into that last corner, having to shift down. Not
Freebird
being
goes
able.
wide too. So many drivers are just completely going off at that final corner.
Yeah, maybe people just not getting the tires up to temperature as quickly as they would like. With all the traffic and all the stopping they have to do to let cars through. Maybe they're.
So, sorry, that's another driver going wide. Not the final corner this time, but at corner 9, Sketchy Bull just again completely losing the car. So many drivers are just struggling with corner exits here.
Yeah, well, somebody who's not struggling right now is Magical Forehead, who set a purple Sector 1 and is looking very good through Sector 2 as well. Opening the DRS. And he's looking now to pick his breaking point. Does that very well. Going down in the third, utilizing the track very beautifully there. Swooping in also really nice in this corner, taking a nice line. Now trying to set it up for that last corner to take as much speed as he can. And he does, and he takes that last corner pretty nicely. And it's pole position for Magical Forehead.
What a lap!
Amazing lap.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous at that final corner, but that car just stuck perfectly. Brilliant run from Magical Forehead. That is a very strong pole position. He's ahead by 3/10. I mean, well, we thought there wouldn't be much more to gain in the lab, and he just completely showed us up there.
Yeah, it was full commitment in those last two corners. Absolutely throwing the car in there and just seeing what happens. And luckily for him, the car stuck. He had the tire grip to do it, and he pulled out an amazing time with that 1:11.3. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, that's what's so great about NA. You never know what's gonna happen next. Somebody will show up and be a dark horse at some races, struggle at others, and be pretty good pace at other tracks. So there's always something different happening each and every time. Great to see.
Looking at the way these races are going, I might have to get involved at one point as well.
Yeah, it's genuinely exciting. I still remember last season, Portugal, where it had the ending of the race was almost a mirror of what happened in Sochi 2021. We had a McLaren in the lead. It starts to rain, and then some make the call to go on enters. Some doesn't, including the lead McLaren. He struggles, and at the line only finishes P7.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Oh, it
That
was,
is
but
heartbreaking.
it was poetry, honestly. Like, I just, the moment I saw him stay out, I'm just thinking, I'm gonna feel pain all over again as a McLaren fan. But still, I mean, that was probably one of the most exciting races that I ever commentated. And well, I've done a lot. So, I mean, and a lot of the races here have just been living up to that, which is really great to see. A little bit of time in between while some drivers are getting their strategies going, changing their fuel amounts. Wouldn't be surprised if some underfueled in hopes of a safety car. I have seen that happen a couple times. Ironically enough, at Spa, where there's usually at least a couple safety cars. In one race, there was none, no safety cars, and multiple drivers completely underfueled, and so crawled their way to the line, and they lost so many positions. But we're about to see what happens as we get going right now. 5 red lights coming on, and the lights are out, and away we go. Looks like Magical Forehead gets a great start. Nathan is weaving a little bit here. He could be vulnerable to Yellow Snowman, looking to make a move on the outside into turn 1. Can the Alpine find his way past? No, he can't. Looking a little bit further back, looks like everybody made it through turn 1 just fine, but we're about to see what happens. Drunken Shamrock has a great start, is currently up to P5. Ketchen is struggling off the line. Meanwhile, Sketchy Bull has to back out into this corner and could be vulnerable to Andy from behind. He's still keeping it close. Taking a look here at the full tire strategy. Here we go. So some are going for really aggressive starts, others not so much. Nathan takes the lead from Magical Forehead and is going to be able to start maybe pulling a little bit of a gap here. That would be in his best interest. This Giantsfan quickly gaining on Yellow Snowman quickly enough to get alongside, perhaps? No, but Yellow Snowman almost sends it on Magical Forehead there. Can't find a way past just yet. Meanwhile, JoJo is making some moves. Chili has had a brilliant start from P19 all the way up to P11 in less than a lap.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. I've been watching him for about half a lap now, and he's just been following JoJo and
Not for much
following
longer.
him. No, he's now going past him. He's had enough of the back of that McLaren, and he wants to stare at the back of another McLaren.
Yeah, Chili is just on an absolute rampage right now. He is not happy with that disqualification, and he is looking to make up for it right now. Meanwhile, we have Andy, who's just in front of him, harassing Hokage here. He gets the inside
Oh.
line. Could he get away past on the outside here? I was going to struggle on entrance, but really have an advantage on the exit, but it doesn't seem to matter. Hokage pulls away cleanly and retains 8th place.
Yeah, that's great defending from Hokage.
I mean, he's been driving out of his mind, and I'm loving it right now. Sketchy, meanwhile, is all
Ooh,
over
big
the
snap
back
from
of
Chili.
Ketchin. Oh, and there's Benzo. He's just completely off. Oh, he got disqualified. I was worried that was going to happen. The more he kept going backwards, the moment I saw him go backwards a little, I'm like, I've experienced that one too. That was not fun.
Yeah, I feel like the game gives that out a little bit too quickly, in my opinion.
I agree. I 100% agree because he was just trying to get himself turned around because he was backward.
Yeah,
But
it seems like if you move backwards for 2 meters, you're already disqualified. Whereas when somebody's driving backwards for 10 seconds, I can understand that you disqualify them. But if it's not even a second, and they still get disqualified.
Chili's diving on the inside of Andy. He almost banged wheels there for a moment, but Chili just manages to put himself ahead. What a move.
Wow, that was amazing stuff there from Chile, really diving it down the inside there in turn 5. Absolute brave stuff. He's now looking to get a move on his teammate a little bit wider on the exit, so I don't think he's going to be getting it done. Or is it going to be a lot of late dive? No, he sits behind it, but might get the switch back.
Oh
And oh, there
no!
goes Okage!
Oh. Well, that's really unfortunate, but Hokage does have a little bit of a buffer here to try and get himself back up to speed. Irons disconnects. Meanwhile, that's Andy gaining on Chili. Could he make the move back? Meanwhile, we have Chili gaining here. Are we about to go 3 wide?
Oh, we are. Oh, we are.
We
3
are
wide
about to
into
see
turn
this.
1.
2 wide into turn 1. Andy and Chili immediately going in. Who comes out on top here? Chili nearly loses the car.
Oh.
Great save from the Alfa Romeo. But Sketchy is out of the race, and that is a safety car.
Yeah, that just looked like to me Chili Willy not wanting to give up the fight, and Andy had almost his whole car ahead, and Chili Willy just a teeny tiny bit of front wing on his behind alongside the rear tire, and Chili Willy kept it in there and then lost the car after a little bit of touching.
Irons is bugged. um, it says he's in the pits, yet he's out on track right now on hard tires, but he's just stuck in place in the middle of the track.
Yeah, and he's getting reset every single second. He's currently on a 2-minute lap time as well.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Still, I mean, the action has been non-stop out the gate. It's genuinely been amazing. Do we see any early dives into the pits? Drunken Shamrock is going in. He wants all these soft tires now. Andy likes to stay out as well as Chili. Nobody else seems to be going in. Okay, Ketchin is going to go in. He's done with these hard tires. Honestly, I think that's a really great call because now I can do 2 sets of mediums for the rest of the race and get away with it no problem.
Yeah, and with the way the tires are probably gonna be going off, that's not. You don't lose too much time stopping another time for a new set of mediums.
Yeah, oh, and you need a new front wing anyway, so, I mean, might as well go for that strat now. You have plenty of others selecting to go on hard tires and most likely finish the race on that set, but I mean, yeah, those tires are going to be struggling by the end, so I'm uncertain about that call, but, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do that if you're banking on a late safety car to occur and using that to your advantage. I'm going to say, prior to the safety car, though, the action was practically non-stop. It was incredible
Kamau
to
and
witness.
Midnight nearly collide on the safety car after Kamau went wide in on the exit of 5, and then just not even tried to rejoin, but just slid back on track into the path of Midnight, who does very well to avoid Kamau there. I don't know if Midnight has wing damage. I don't think they touched, but that was a very close call.
Yeah, so we have a majority of drivers caught up. Yeah, Irons is just completely bugged. In the chat, he said he got kicked. Which, that's a little bit strange. I think his car is just eternally bugged for the rest of the race.
Yeah, that car is gonna stay there till the end of the race, which
Could be
actually
distracting.
opens. That was what I was gonna point out. It opens up a little bit of a possibility because there's now a distraction in that corner. And if you're sitting behind someone and you move around in the mirrors a little bit, you may be able to distract him into a mistake and gain a position.
Yeah, welcome to NA where we're wanting to make the races so exciting, we are now adding obstacles in the middle of the track.
Yeah, we've added an extra. They've taken out a chicane, so we added another one.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's a good thing that the car is ghosted because otherwise, well, that would be certainly an interesting factor. Yeah, I think the one to watch on this restart, though, has to be Chili. I mean, well, not just Chili, but Andy as well. The two of them are maximizing these soft tires. And just, now, the question I'm wondering is, though, are they maximizing it by just burning through the tires that quickly? Or are they able to maintain that speed and the efficiency with it?
Yeah, because that is what's gonna make or break their race. Are they gonna be able to keep their tires in that good condition, in that working window? Or are they gonna drop off after 2 more laps? Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna find out because the safety car is coming in.
Yeah, Giantsfan, currently leading the championship, is currently in 4. One of his closest
Oh,
rivals,
I see a little bit
Nathan.
of front wing falling there.
Ooh. Oh,
That
that's a chipped off front wing piece. If I had to guess, an end plate. So do we have anybody missing an end plate here? We could just put in the
that
lost
looks
and found
good.
section.
Oh yeah, that's Magical Forehead. He's diving into the pits.
He must be the one who got the wing damage. If I had to guess, he bumped a little bit too hard on a curb. But, well, that's his race completely and utterly ruined at this point. Quite unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, we already see drivers trying to make some moves here. Is Drunken going to try and make a dive on Midnight? He's thinking about it, but ultimately has to back out. Midnight gives him plenty of space, so allowing Drunken Shamrock to slide his way through. Is now up to P11. Hokage also on the inside of Moon Midnight. Moon Midnight's getting absolutely mugged right now for position as Hokage forces his way through. Ketchin wanting to join in on the action as well around the outside of the Ferrari. Can he make his way through? It's close here, but I think Ketchin's got the better exit. Up ahead, we see Drunken Shamrock making his way past the Mercedes. Still side by side of the Ferrari and Williams. And that's Ketchin off the track, losing multiple positions, now down to P16.
Yeah, they kept it going for quite a while, that battle, but it had to end in some way, and it ended in disaster for Ketchin.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think in that corner, he should have backed out. Hokage was further up ahead. He had the inside line. I mean, that was Hokage's mistake in that moment. And technically, in the F1 rules, you do have a right to force a driver off the track in that situation, as we saw with Sergio Perez and Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, Ketchin has already caught back up to that little train, though. He's just gone past Gary.
Oh, that's a Williams, a Freebird, taking the exit road there. He goes into the wall!
Oh!
And that's his front wing gone and a VSC activated.
Wow, I'm really curious what happened there. I just all of a sudden saw a car in the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was just trying to rejoin, and when he turned, he just completely oversteered and just went straight in.
Well, that sort of neutralizes this race. It keeps the gaps the same, but calms everybody down a little bit.
In the in the Jeff Dominic Mage, please no slander my teammate. Kill me, I think. It's okay. I won't slander you for now. But see here, Irons. I got kicked and I couldn't take control back. It's not my fault. I say the game kicking you out and forcing your car in that position is 100% your fault. So you need to take responsibility for that. No, not really. Okage is the first driver to get a penalty. That you were saying?
I was just trying to make a further joke on it, like you should make the game like you.
Kamo retires in the pits. Wait, that's a safety car? We just had a VSC and now it's become a full safety car.
Yeah, something must have happened, but I don't see what.
That's rather
because
strange.
because Kamau has retired in the pit, so that shouldn't trigger the safety car.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
And I'm flicking through everybody right now, and I don't see anybody with damage.
Yeah, I mean, here's a great news though for Andy, Chile, and Milan. This is essentially a free stop to go on. I mean, hmm, no, I don't think they can make it to the end on mediums, but they want to go for hards. That's definitely doable.
Yeah, going on to hards, you should be able to make it to the end of the race, but those hards are going to feel really second-handed at the end of that race.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still very doable.
Yeah, we'll see who's going to go in. Nathan is electing to go in. Yellow Snowman as well. Giantsfan, Andy, Chili, Jojo. Everybody is making their way into the pits except for Drunken Chimrock and the other hard tire runners, who will, of course, elect to stay out. Alam is going in. Ketchin elects to stay out on his newish mediums. Midnight goes in. And he bumps into the back of Balam there. That's wing damage for him for sure. So he's going to have to get that replaced as well, costing him a lot of time.
Just a sloppy little mistake going into the pits there.
Yeah, he was in a little bit too much of a rush there, and that's going to cost him some time. And that may be a little bit of underbody damage for Balam for that.
Well, two people who might be happy for this safety car are going to be Freebirds and Magical Forehead, because that means they can now catch up to the back of the field and have a chance at some points again.
Yeah, Magical Forehead had good pace. We saw his qualifying pace already. Brilliant run by him. But he's going to have to catch up pretty quickly. Well, no, actually not that quickly. It'll take a couple laps for the safety car to fully come in at this point. Then again, if the VSC time is counted into the safety car time, it could go in as early as next lap, but he should catch up by then.
Yeah, he should do. He should do. He's got the pace. He's not slow by any means, so he should be there by the end of this lap, I think.
Yeah, it must be so uncomfortable for the drivers with that Alpine glitched in turn 5. I mean, I was just riding on board with Magical Forehead for a moment, and that definitely didn't feel right. Like you were saying before, it's definitely gonna cause some mistakes by some drivers who, like you said, could be preoccupied fighting somebody else, then see the car in front of them, and of course, natural instinct reaction, maybe put on the brakes, maybe try to steer out of the way, and then, it could easily turn into a disaster.
Yeah, you could easily lock your tires in that situation and just go straight on wide into the gravel
Yeah.
and lose your position, and then maybe even take the person behind you
Yep.
with you, because they get scared as well.
Yeah, I could not have described that better. You are 100% correct on that. The idea of another driver getting caught up by that is definitely very possible. So these drivers are going to have to stay on their toes throughout that entire section of the track. So we'll see how that changes up. So we have had a VSC plus this safety car, and we did have a safety car earlier, or is this the first one? I feel
I
like
think we've had one earlier.
yeah. So we have a limit of 4, but if that VSC counted as 1, then we're already at 3. Otherwise, we're at 2 at the moment.
Yeah, I think the VSC does count, so I think we are at 3.
Yeah, in other words, there will only be 1 safety car left. Or,
Yeah,
again, if what I mentioned also applied, then it would actually be 2. So we have 1 to 2 safety cars remaining.
yeah, I've just watched Nathan go through that turn 5 with the Alpine, and even under safety car conditions, you get caught up by it, because he went so wide and he almost went into the gravel on the exit. As the safety car is gonna come in this lap, and I think Nathan could be someone to watch, but Andy as well, being on that fresh medium tires with hearts all around him.
Oh yeah, Andy definitely is in, I think, the best position at the moment. Nathan is in a great spot himself, but does have that tire disadvantage to the McLaren behind him. Okage, I mean, he's in a great spot in second place. Those hard tires can maybe make it to the end, but I mean that tire wear, along with the 3-second time penalty he has, is going to hurt him by the end. Drunken Shamrock is just going to immediately make a clean getaway. Great run by him, and that's going to be almost 7/10 clear.
Nathan all over the back of Normbash actually has to lift off the throttle not to overtake him before the line, which actually puts him on a little bit of a disadvantage here down into turn 1. He's still gonna go for it under braking, gets it slowed down, and that's a great move.
Yeah, meanwhile behind, Giantsfan slipped his way past Andy, is now going to try to slip his way past the Aston Martin. He gets a very clean run and a clean getaway. Now up to P6, Andy chasing right behind. Normbash is getting absolutely mugged at the moment as yet another car gets his way past. Yellow Snowman is now on the heels, and every time at that corner, I'm gonna lose my mind if I'm riding on board with someone. I thought you almost hit the back of somebody. It's just a glitch out.
I got scared. Even
Yeah.
I got scared.
Yeah, and well, again, we're not even the ones driving, so if it's throwing us off like that, you know it's far worse for them. Gary loses position to Nathan. Nathan is really taking advantage of these fresh tires, as Gary could potentially lose another position. Oh, he doesn't even really fight the Mercedes too hard there. As Giantsfan making his way past Andy wanting to hit this position as well. Gary tries to fight this one, the two keeping it close. And I fear that Gary's going to go a little wide here. No, he doesn't. He keeps it under control, but he is yet another victim to the quartet of Nathan, Giantsfan, Andy, and Yellow Snowman. All four of them charging their way towards the front. And Tsukage attempted a move on Drunken Shamrock, but didn't pull it off. And at the same time, Chili pulls off a move on Normbash, going to fight his way back. We now have an interesting stream of drivers about to be grouped together as Chili makes his way past the Haas as well. We have 5 very competitive drivers, all within only a couple seconds of each other.
Yeah, Chili Willy really trying to get a move on. Sitting in P8, almost, or Moldy Dragon almost going around the outside of Normbash there. Oh! Gary spins it into the wall!
That's a safety car, so this could be the last one.
He's stuck.
You're right.
He's beached.
Oh, no, maybe not. He's trying here to save it, but if he goes backwards too much, he could also be disqualified.
Yes, he's got it.
Good save by him.
Yeah, he somehow managed to keep going, and well, even though he's got no wing, he's still in this race, which is more than Kamau, Sketchybull, and Benzo Slice and Ironbox can say.
Absolutely. My question is anybody going to try and risk and go for a pit stop here? We have one Magical Forehead pitting again. Oh, and he's a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's going to hurt him immensely by the end of the race. And I think Dejo is... Oh, no, he's saying it. He's going to go in for a set of hard tires, which should absolutely make it to the race. No problem at all. So he's pretty much set for the remainder of this event. But we are reaching about the halfway point. Irons is still in lap 3 because the car is glitched. I just now noticed.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening in the midfield, but Normbash overtook somebody, then let them pass, but then let 2 cars pass, and now they're all trying to figure out what they need to do. It seems like they've resorted themselves now, but it was a little bit of weird to see.
Yeah, at the moment, the top 8 is immensely exciting to me. Drunken Shamrock, Hokage, and Ketchin, I mean, they're all on older tires, but all 3 of them have great pace. And then we have 5 of the most competitive drivers in NA, all grouped up together right behind Nathan, Giantsfan, Andy, Yellow, Chili, and we have the rest of the field behind them. So it's going to stay pretty close. Normbash is going to be at a disadvantage, though, because he's got 2 medium runners on pretty new tires right behind. And we saw Normbash get mugged earlier by the 5 drivers ahead of him. I'm a little concerned that he may get mugged by them, too.
Yeah, I think Chili Willy is gonna be one to watch on this restart because he's looked very pacey and very aggressive so far this race. So I think Yellow Snowman is definitely gonna be looking in his mirrors.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be very close. Oh, Gary, I was actually about to say he should probably go into the pits. This would be a great time to stop. He seems to have thought that as well because he's making his way in for a set of tires. Looks like the other Aston Martin. Oh, Magical Forehead is going in again?
Yeah, Gary is also changing his wing, so he's finally made it back to the pits to change his wing, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was actually a good idea to try and make it out one more lap and let those medium tires last that much longer and give himself the best advantage he possibly can before the safety car comes back in. Magical Forehead gets on used medium tires. Something tells me that wasn't his intention, and his pit crew may have just royally screwed.
Yeah, a similar thing happened to me today as well. I needed to change my wing, and I was on the mediums, or I selected the medium tires, but I forgot I had the turn in button, the same as my switch button. So when I went to turn in, it switched to Intus as well, and then they
Oh,
put Intus on my car. I don't know how they were able to switch tires that fast, but they were able to switch them faster in the blankets than onto my car.
and well, it's a good thing Magical Forehead and Gary pitted him when they did, because safety car is going to be coming in, and Drunken Shamrock will be leading them off. He managed to jump them all quite well last time, so we'll see if he can pull it off again this time. Now, as we speculated before, this could be the final safety car, or there's one left, but either way, these drivers really won't have much more help from the stewards, and so they'll have to just do it as purely as they can. Drunken Shamrock gets the cleanest getaway that I've seen in a while. Hokage, meanwhile, gonna have to try and make a good run here. Nathan gets an even better run, getting alongside Ketchin. Can he make his way past the Williams and just behind his teammate? They're dead even going into turn one, but Ketchin around the outside manages to cut him off, and Nathan loses out.
Yeah, that was great defensive driving there by Ketchin. A Giantsfan now goes up the inside, and Nathan into turn 4. Tricky braking zone. Can he make it stick? He's sticking it in there. And now, is the Alpine gonna be distracting for Nathan?
Apparently not too much.
No, Nathan keeping it in there. Very great stuff there, and keeping the place from Giantsfan.
Yeah, this is not what Giantsfan is wanting, because he does have Andy behind, and Andy is on the faster tire at the moment. So the more Giantsfan tries to fight, the more he wears down his tires, and the more he could potentially fall into the jaws of the McLaren behind. Well, I guess Andy may have his own problems to deal with, because Yellow and Chili are rapidly gaining as well. This group in the top 8 is sticking close.
Yeah, and Chili Willy has already been all over the back of Yellow Snowman. I think it'll all be a matter of time, unless his tire starts going off massively.
Oh, Ketchin here is about to make a move on Hokage here. Looks like Ketchin's fighting both Ferraris here, and he's going to win out on both of them. He managed to sweep his way past into second place.
Yeah, and that was, again, a great move.
Oh, he goes
He goes a
wide.
little bit wide there. Maybe just trying to put the power down a little bit too much. Can he hang it around the outside and actually do what Nathan did to him last lap? As Nathan is trying to get in the mix and he taps his teammate round!
Oh no! That Giants fan who almost loses it.
Chili Willy is out! Oh, that looked like a little bit of dangerous re-entry there from Hokage.
Well, why did Nathan attempt that? 3 wide into that corner is a recipe for disaster. And he comes out
Yeah.
almost entirely unscathed. This is going to be the final safety car of the race. So if the drivers want to pit, this is the best time to do it. And well,
This is your this is the time to do it, to make your pit stop. But Nathan never should have put his nose in there. I get that he had a little bit of pressure from behind from Andy and Yellow Snowman, but still, you cannot make a dive down the inside there, as Giantsfan, Shamrock, Ketchen, and Giantsfan all pull into the pits.
yeah, I question Nathan's decision to stay out. I don't think that was a wise decision. If he had a spare set of medium tires, this would be the time to put them on, which is exactly what Giants fan is doing right now. as well as Drunken Shamrock, and catching going for the soft tires. A very aggressive option
Wow.
here. I mean, do you think the softs could make it 15 laps? I'm not too confident in that. And well, the other thing is, as we said, there is a limit of about 4 safety cars in a 50% race. This is the 4th safety car. So there aren't going to be any more after this. There is no buffer after this to give you a little bit of a helping hand. So he needs to make this tire last.
Yeah, that's true. But in the Team 1 race we've just had, I've seen a soft tire being put on lap 21, I believe, making it all the way to the end and getting P2. So it's a bold call, but it could very much pay out for him.
Yeah, that's true. But that tire wear is going to hurt catching. Although, you know who I think this could potentially pay off in dividends for? Drunken Shamrock. If Giantsfan just keeps harassing catching and the two of them are busy fighting one another, that could allow Drunken Shamrock to make a nice getaway and eventually sail away, getting a free win.
Yeah, that could very much be a possibility. And Freebirds actually has a drive-through, I've just noticed.
Yeah, he's
Don't know
gonna have
what
to
that is
serve
for.
that. Yeah, it was for speeding under the safety car, so
Oh, okay. And Hokage going into the pits with no wing. What's happened here? Jejo following in him in as well.
oh, that's a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
So something must have happened under safety car conditions for Hokage, because he is changing his wing.
Yeah, fresh mediums on to the end. Let's see if we can keep that pace consistent. But right now we have Nathan in the lead. But I think after that collision, he must have gotten some damage, right? I mean, that hit was pretty violent all around. Yellow Snowman. I think he got caught up in that too. Wasn't he just behind him?
Yeah. Yellow Snowman may have been able to keep his nose clean there, because he was side by side with Andy there, but I think both Andy and Yellow Snowman were able to keep their nose clean. But I think that Nathan must at least be missing a wing end plate, because that was some heavy contact there on that front wing of his.
Yeah, we may see well, he may have a little bit of what I call phantom damage, like front wing damage, but can't actually see it. But in game, it's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can definitely feel it.
Yeah, and while I wouldn't be surprised if he got like a little bit of side pod or underfloor damage for that, like that could be very possible. So Nathan's going to have to lead them off on aged hard tires. These can absolutely make it to the end, but I mean, the pace is going to be a real pain to deal with, especially with so many drivers on fresh tires right behind.
Yeah, and the first of that
He
queue is going
spins!
to be... Oh, there goes Nathan! And Yellow Snowman just decides to bowl it out straight away, which is something I would do as well. Everybody caught up in that spin of Nathan. As Yellow Snowman is absolutely clear, Gary gets overtaken by Drunken Shamrock. This is going to be a battle down in the turn 1. It's going to be almost 3 wide.
Gretchen is trying to make a move here on the Avantari, but he just can't pull it off at the moment. Drunken Shamrock up to P2. What a disaster for Ferrari and Alfa Romeo today. Nathan completely losing it, trying to warm up those old hard tires.
Yeah, and you said he should have pitted, and that proves why. Having no grip to warm the tires up.
Yeah,
He's spinning it out of the lead.
I can't believe it. I mean, like I said at the start of this, always something crazy or out of pocket happens here in NA, and we just saw that happen a little bit ago. And I think it's going to continue to stay this interesting, as it looks like the two Hasses are going wheel to wheel here in a moment. But before them, we have Magical Forehead making his way past Gary. Now it's Moldy Dragon all over the back of his teammate and the Aston Martin. Who's going to come out on top here between this battle between the three? Well, that's Gary going wide on the corner exit. Moldy Dragon takes advantage, gets alongside and ahead of his teammate, but his teammate's going to try and stick behind, run it back. He can't pull it off. He's just lacking in straight line speed compared to most of the other drivers. He must be going for a higher downforce setup. Andy, meanwhile, trying to use these soft tires and catch up, maybe make a few moves here and there. He is not off to the greatest start. Giantsfan at the same time is actually starting to lose a little bit of time to the drivers up front. At least it seemed that way for a moment, but if anything, he's gaining now.
I'm currently on board with Nathan, who's trying to get back into the points, trying to make an overtake on Bellum, and he's actually getting held up quite a bit there. Nathan on on the hard tires, Bellum on the mediums. Now Nathan has a run, doesn't use his ERS.
Yeah, he wasn't going
Trying
to
to
make
have-
that. Oh, Belong goes wide. This could be a chance to make a move here. Almost loses the car again, but manages to save it and make his way past the AlphaTauri up into the points now.
Yes, we have a nice four-way battle here as
Okage!
Okage
Okage went in way too hard in that corner, and he's out of the race!
the wall.
Oh.
He's into the wall. He just went wide, and I think he just tried to keep his foot in, tried to lose as minimal time as he could.
I
But
100% agree.
in doing so, he's put himself out of the race.
Yeah, that's Giantsfan on the inside of the Williams. 3 wide for a moment. But Giantsfan manages to pull off the move. He's ahead of Ketchin. Giantsfan is quickly gaining on the Alpine of Yellow Snowman here as well. At the moment, it's in Drunken Shamrock's best interest to try and pull away, but it doesn't make a difference. Giantsfan is unstoppable as he makes his way past. No! Why did he do that?
My God!
He dived in way too hard for his own good. Giantsfan is out of the points. 5-second penalty for a severe collision.
Oh my God!
What is
And
happening?
it looked like he had that move done and dusted. He looked like he had it all under control, but then just went too deep on the brakes, or maybe just not enough on the brakes, and just clattered into the back of Drunken Shamrock, spun himself round, and froze away his own race.
Yeah, okay, you know what I was talking about before, about how Portugal was the most impressive race I've seen in an A? Yeah, it just got beaten. I can't believe what's been happening in this race. Right now, the championship leader is barely in the points with a broken front wing. And he's gonna have to either no, he has plenty of a buffer to go in, but there's no safety cars left to help anybody. It's just pure driving at this point and nothing else. Holy Dragon sneaks his way past Magical Forehead and is up into P3 now. Meanwhile, Ketchin is trying to make up for some lost time after being basically pit maneuvered there. And dives on the Aston Martin, now up to P4.
Oh, that's a great move. That's the move that the Giantsfan wanted, but just could not get. That's amazing braking there from Ketchin, because you really gotta slow the car down if you want to make an overtake in there. And then you gotta get on the power so gently, because if you go a little bit too far on the throttle pedal, your car goes round.
Yeah, and he puts in the fastest lap of the race as Moldy Dragon gets past Yellow Snowman. Moldy Dragon is up into second place.
Yeah, he's made up 13 positions since the start of this race so far. And he might be looking to hunt down Drunken Shamrock.
Yeah, he's got pace right now. This is a heroic drive from the Hats driver right now. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, my game just crashed. Oh no. Of course. Right when we're getting into the finale of all this, my game decides to crash. Brilliant. Thank you, EA. Very cool. I'm gonna have to try and get back in. If someone is racing or something, an opportunity, please send me an invite so I can get back in there.
If you add me on EA, I can send you back an invite.
Yeah.
It's the Dutch Raven with underscores in between.
Yeah.
Well, while we're currently having these technical difficulties, we still have Drunken Shamrock in P1, Moldy Dragon in P2, 1.9 seconds behind. Ketchen and Yellow going side by side. It's almost 3 wide. It's 3 wide in turn 1. And they somehow make it out alive. Oh my god. Your game picked the wrong time to crash.
Yeah.
This is absolutely insane to watch. Yellow Snowman goes wide. Goes down the order. And Ketchen now takes P3.
Why did I do that? Why? It's kicking me out whenever I try to enter the text. Why does it keep doing this? Oh my gosh. I apologize for the technical difficulties.
You must be the unluckiest commentator ever.
I know. It's ridiculous. Try.
Well, apart from that 3 wide moment, there hasn't been much going on. And apart from Yellow going a little bit wide, there's been not too much action further.
Oh no, why did it do that? See the name pop up for a moment before I can select it. Kicks me out.
As Giantsfan does set a new fastest lap with a 1:13.000. Doing a 1:13 exactly flat. As there's a Yellow in sector 2.
Does your name have an underscore after Raven as well?
Yes, I think so. Yes. Hold on, let me check real quick.
I don't think you got the request. I just have to spam the button.
No, I got nothing yet.
Okay. Check now. You may get it now.
Yes.
Okay.
Go. Let's get you back in here for these last couple of laps.
Finally. Okay.
Well, we basically created our own safety car period, our own little break, but then with green flag running. As there is some battles, as Andy is going to go around the outside of Ketchen, moving up in the 3rd place and getting the move done before the braking zone. Very lovely stuff there. And both Ketchen and Andy on 10 or lap all softs. They're holding on pretty well.
And we're back in action. Finally got everything back up and running. For some reason, I can't see Gary's gap, but we are back with everything else. Drunken Shamrock is running quite nicely at the moment. And, yeah, Iron's still bugged. Meanwhile, we have Normbash looking to make a move on Balam here, perhaps. Balam is going to run a little bit wide here. Normbash could make a move on the inside, but can't. Giantsfan, though, makes his way past Freebird and is up now into P9. I think he could potentially gain enough on Gary to make his way past by the final lap and take P8. But after that, that's going to be the best he's going to get. Oh, well, never mind. Gary did it for him because Gary went a little bit too deep on the inside and had a touch with the ball.
He goes wide as well into the last sector, going into the last corner.
Magical
that
forehead. He's taking advantage right now. Could he get a hold of not just P4 but P3? He's looking for a chance on the outside, but he lets McLaren and Williams duke it out, looking for an opportunity for himself. Interesting move by Magical Forehead. I think he could have gone for it.
Well, I'd actually say that was very smart driving there, because that looked like a very similar situation that what Nathan had, and Nathan did poke his nose in there and it went terribly wrong.
Good point.
And Magical Forehead just decides, I'm in P5 right now, I don't need to take this risk. There will probably be another opportunity.
Yeah,
Let's just make sure we get to the end of this race.
absolutely. But all that fighting is now allowing Yellow Snowman to catch up. And so we could now have a four-way fight for third place. Meanwhile, Holy Dragon has closed the gap to Drunken Shamrock. Could he find his way past and win this race?
Oh my, that would be something, wouldn't it? That would be
It
something.
would. Drunken Shamrock is struggling seemingly. I think his tires are already kind of shot.
Yeah, Moldy Dragon gaining 13 positions since the start of this race. Can he make it 14 and win the race from P15 on the grid?
Oh, he's so close behind. Drunken Shamrock has almost no battery left. Moldy Dragon has a little more to play with in comparison. But he does have the dirty air. Meanwhile, we still have a very close fight behind. Andy having 3 rabid drivers to deal with. Well, he continues to hold on to third place. We still have an exciting race on our hands here with the top 6. Well, yeah, top 6.
Yeah, and the one thing that is saving Andy and also catching in a way is that Magical Forehead and Yellow Snowman are on even all the tires.
Oh no! Oh.
Well, that's an Aston Martin stranded.
That wasn't Norm Bash. He spun just as drivers ahead were making their way through. It looks like Magical Forehead is dueling with Ketchin here, and that's really giving Andy a hand here. Magical Forehead still keeping close. Could finally make a move on the Williams. Oh, Ketchin goes wide. This could be his chance. On the inside now, he seems to have a little bit more straight line speed than the Williams. I don't think Ketchin's going to try and fight this too hard, but here comes Yellow Snowman on the inside into turn 1. Can he make his way past the Aston Martin? No, he can't, but he does slightly tap the wheel of the Aston 3 wide into turn 3. Ketchin stays ahead.
Absolutely, this is insanity, and Moldy Dragon just got up into P1 as well on that same straight. Just done the move before the corner. But
Yeah.
This is absolute insanity. 3 wide into sector 1. Insane.
This has been the wildest race I've ever seen by a considerable margin. Holy Dragon only has a couple laps left before he can secure victory here.
Yeah, and after watching that tier 1 race, I was thinking to myself, which one's actually better to watch, NA or tier 1? But this race has definitely showed that NA is the place to be if you want to watch some very fun races.
Oh, and the AlphaTauri has to do well to get out of the way of not just the Haas, but his own teammate, Drunken Shamrock, is going to be struggling a little bit with this remaining time. Meanwhile, Magical Forehead has a bit of a gap to make up if he wants to catch up to the McLaren, but he still has to deal with the Williams chasing behind. Chasing fast enough to get alongside. Can he get ahead of the Aston Martin? No, he can't. He backs out of the corner.
Drunken Shamrock and Moldy Dragon are now fighting for P1 again. Drunken Shamrock managing to get in front, and Moldy Dragon trying to hunt him down again.
Yeah, Moldy Dragon, like before, still has way more battery to play with in comparison to Drunken Shamrock, and he really needs to use it now or never to make his way past. I think he'll have a very good chance once we get up to this back straight. Oh! Drunken Shamrock breaks and way too early, and that throws Moldy Dragon off. That cost him some time. Moldy Dragon only has a little bit of opportunity left, and all their fighting is allowing Andy to catch up as well, including the rest of the top 6. Andy's now within DRS range.
I mean, if we have a crazy lap, we could see Magical Forehead winning this race.
We could. Anything can happen with one lap left to go. Let's see what happens. Here we go down the main straight. Moldy Dragon needs to burn all his battery now if he wants to catch up. You can already see the speed difference as he's dumping all the battery he has left. Will it be enough to get alongside it in the turn one? He almost pulls it off, but that costs him the quarter. And that costs him time. He needs to find a way to catch up to the AlphaTauri once again, but he also has the McLaren slowly sneaking up on him to deal with.
Yeah, Moldy Dragon is actually in a bit of a pickle right now. Is he going to push to get that win? Or is he just going to take that P2 and get some valuable points for the team and for the championship?
Yeah,
Andy on those 15 lap old softs is doing very well to keep up and is putting Moldy under quite a bit of pressure, but Shamrock, his tires look to be absolutely gone out the window, but he has that gap and maybe he has the win as well, because it doesn't look like Moldy Dragon is going to be able to get this one over the line.
Yeah, looks like after all of that, after all of the fighting, the one to emerge on top is going to be Drunken Shamrock winning the Spanish Grand Prix. Moldy Dragon pulling an absolutely incredible drive to take second. Andy doing well to defend and take home third place. Magical Forehead, Ketchin, and Yellow Snowman take a bow as well for a brilliant performance. The top six have been absolutely incredible. Nathan taking home P7, Giantsfan having a disaster of a race compared to his winning streak from before, is now all the way down to P8 this race. Not exactly ideal for him in the championship. That means those behind are quickly going to catch up to him. This championship fight is going to remain close. Meanwhile, Freebird and Movement, I bring home the rest of the points, so long as they hold. No, they've got the rest of it. So that's going to be the end of the race. And what a race it was.
Yeah, there's actually so much has happened that you can't even remember half the stuff that's happened. I can't even
Yeah,
remember stuff that's happened 2 laps ago. That's how much is happening in these races, and it's a blast to watch every single time. These drivers put on an amazing show for us every single time again.
yeah, that was absolutely incredible. And hopefully in a moment we'll be able to get the top three in.
Yeah, the drivers are currently still in the cool-down room, talking the race with each other,
Yeah.
and they'll be in the interview room shortly, I hope.
Yeah, I still can't believe that that race was constantly fluctuating. The battles were nonstop between everybody. I can't believe how close that was throughout.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't know if it was gonna be Shamrock winning the race, Moldy winning the race, or even them two coming together and even Andy taking it.
Yeah, and those were just the final few laps, but I mean, we had different people fighting at the front. Oh, every few laps, it was always somebody different. Something crazy was going on consistently.
Yeah,
It was kind of incredible to witness.
I mean, we've had Giantsfan throwing it away, Nathan throwing it, spinning it from the lead on the safety car condition still. Absolute insanity.
Yeah, let me see if three are available.
I don't see anybody in the interview
Yeah,
room yet. I'll get on it.
yeah. I'm like mentally exhausted after that. That's how absolutely insane the race was. Oh,
Yes. Well, we've got our P3 finisher, or our P2 finish in the waiting room. So I'll go ahead and drag him in.
all right.
Here he is. Welcome in, Andy.
Okay, Andy, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Wow. I think that may have been the wildest race I've ever seen. And despite everything crazy happening, you managed to keep it cool, keep it calm, despite at multiple parts of the race having quite a few very competitive drivers around you. You kept it very quick throughout, and even at the end was starting to catch up to the top two. If things had gone differently and the race was a couple laps longer, it may have been you on the top step. It's still a brilliant performance, and this could be the start of you closing in and getting into this fight for the championship. So, how do you feel with the result?
Yeah, definitely. I'm really happy with that result. Especially because with the incident around their turn 5, with all the carnage happening.
Which one?
It was Hokage
Yep.
and someone else. When coming into turn 5, it was a lot of carnage there. So I tried to avoid it, but I couldn't avoid everything. So I got some floor damage and had to change the wing, stuff like that. So I still was stuck with floor damage after that. After the last safety car restart. So I just had to go on the softs and try and make them last as long as possible. To have some kind of an advantage over the medium runners. Because of the damage, but all in all, really happy with my performance today.
Yeah, you drove a great race out there, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I forget, what is around next week?
France.
Oh, wow, France, really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to that. That's one of my personal favorite tracks to drive around. But speaking of France, do you have any plans or strategies going into that track?
I'm not sure. I don't think I have driven or like raced or anything on that track yet on this game. So I'm pretty green. Let's just say it like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's hope by the time you get there, you'll be feeling more blue, white, and red by the time you get there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
All right, see you guys.
I had to really try to resist the urge to make a surrender joke there. I'm glad I didn't stoop that low. It was close. I was really debating it there. We have one more in the universe. M. I actually don't know who M is.
Um,
Could that be Only Dragon?
it could be. Let me drag him in.
Hey, is this Moldy Dragon?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to say, what a performance you had, starting outside of the top 10. You managed to survive all of the carnage, all of the mayhem, and not to mention, you were just outright competitive throughout that race, especially towards the end, absolutely harassing Drunken Shamrock for that victory. And for a moment, it seemed like you had. Unfortunately, you just missed out. But is this the start of a very competitive streak for you?
We can only hope. I definitely wasn't expecting to finish how I did, considering my start. But I guess right place, right time, kind of worked in my favor tonight.
Yeah, absolutely did. Do you have any plans or strategy going into France?
Not necessarily. France is definitely one of my better tracks that I know. along with Spain. So hopefully I can do the same thing I did tonight and push for a podium.
And
right.
what would you say was the key point in this race today? What made you go up to the front as much as you did in your eyes?
Staying out of the carnage, I think, was the biggest thing. I think I got pretty lucky a few times where the front guys got all tangled up and I snuck through and gained a bunch of spots.
Yeah, well, you drove a great race, and congratulations on that P2.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
You too. Yeah, I don't think Drunken Shamrock does interview by making regular appearances on the podium, but yeah, I can just say that. Like I said before, that was the wildest race I've ever seen, and this is making me look forward even more to next week. I mean, France, I think, is a track that can be just as competitive as a circuit like Spain, if not more so. I mean, 2021 comes to mind, in that incredible race in real life that is, where
Yeah.
we saw the Red Bulls and Mercedes duel in really just a strategy battle more than anything else. And then also we saw the McLarens charging through the field that race. I mean, I think if the action is going to be half as good as that next week, we're going to be in for an exciting race.
I mean, given that it's no assist, I think we are gonna get double the action.
Yeah. It's been incredible, and thanks for joining me again tonight.
Oh,
And
it's my pleasure.
yeah, and for those wondering about Pat, exciting news. Next week, you'll be seeing us both again. And, well, there's only going to be one Cam this time around because he's actually coming and we're going to do it in person. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, you guys can look forward to that next week. So, we'll be seeing you all then. I've been Mark Mage. And,
I've been the Dutch Raven.
Yep, be seeing you next time.